Certain mistakes are common amongst English students when English is not their native language. Let's look at some examples and how to rectify the mistakes. Hello dear to open a letter or email. This is probably caused by the use of dear to open a formal letter and dear as a term of affection. If you are using dear to open a formal letter or email, you do not need to use hello as well. For example, dear sir or madam and dear Mr. Smith are both correct. Note that the use of dear as a term of affection is the same as calling someone darling, my love, or sweetheart. It should only be used amongst family or close friends. Either instead of whichever. For example, you can choose either you like instead of you can choose whichever you like. Either is used to introduce options. For example, you can press either the red or yellow button. Whichever is used to emphasize a lack of restriction in selecting one of a definite set of alternatives. If you are not specifying the options, use whichever. If you are specifying the options, use either. Unnecessary repetition of pronouns. Using a pronoun immediately after the subject of the sentence is not necessary in English. We only use pronouns to refer back to the subject in a new clause or sentence. For example, my wife, she is British. This food, it tastes good, are both incorrect. They should be, my wife is British. This food tastes good. Using informal language in formal contexts. For example, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child is a human rights treaty which sets out the civil, political, economic, social, health, and cultural rights of kids. Familiarizing yourself with formal and informal language is the best way to avoid this issue. Missing articles. For example, I drive blue car. I am going to cinema. Missing articles are a common mistake amongst learners of English. Remember that the is used when talking about one particular noun. For example, the house. And a and an are used when talking about any noun. For example, a meeting. Finally, a is used when the noun begins with a consonant. For example, a dog, a man, a chair. And an is used when the noun begins with a vowel. For example, an elephant or an introduction. Come and go, bring and take confusion. Come and go, bring and take can be confusing because their basic meanings are the same. Come and bring describe movement towards the speaker. For example, my friend is coming to my house tonight. He will bring food. Go and take describe movement away from the speaker. For example, I am going to my friend's house tonight. I will take food.